Hi everybody. Just hoping you're all well and doing all the things that you have to do and that you're finding some peace in your world. We've had a few bushfires here this season. There's been a very bad one down in Western Victoria in the mountains, hills, the Grampians, and some others close by here, but we're fine. I think in America you'd call them wildfires. Excuse me, but here they're called bushfires. And I wrote this a couple of days ago. It's almost the end of summer. The earth is parched and dry. There's been no rain for months and months. There's been no scent of rain on powdered soil. The sky seems to be a brighter blue each passing day. And then we have the winds appear, drying out the earth even more. There are cracks appearing in the ground. Gum trees are shedding their leaves, shedding their bark. There's a whisper of smoke on the horizon. Is it smoke or merely a cloud? But no, it is smoke, a whiff of smoke that floats through the air. Your heart sinks. Your brain goes into action plan. The smoke gets bigger. The whiff begins to fill your nostrils. The dread takes over. A bushfire, the enemy. A bushfire, the enemy to everything in its path. And then you see the glow in the sky until it is red and fierce. The embers floating over, driven by the wind, lighting spot fires that burst into life. Excuse me. The firefighters unite, mostly men, but women too. Neighbours helping neighbours. They do what they can, grit their teeth and get on with the jobs they know well. They fight the fires until they're dropping from the heat and exhaustion, until they sink to their knees and collapse. They've done the best they know how, and that is all that matters. They've done their best. I remember so well the times I've seen the fires close by, when I've been filled with that same dread. And even now when I see those clouds in the sky, when I know they're not clouds but are smoke, when the evening sky is tinged with golden light, when there is a grey haze around our world, I'm right back there, when I've seen these fires close by in other days gone by. Excuse me, I do have a tickle in my throat and I've got Benny on my knee too, so I'm having to contend with him. But it does remind me, and it's actually quite a good story, I think, really, but we had fires that were getting, when I was in the farm growing up, in fact I was about 10, maybe 11, I think 10, and they were really coming right over close. It was 1952, my father and my eldest brother were out fighting them when they heard the news that King George VI had died. Anyway, my next brother older than I am, and he was about 14, I think, he and I were tasked with bringing all the cattle into a little paddock right beside the creek below the house, which we did. I had a pony that was notoriously difficult and never did what I wanted to. Well, I made her do what I wanted her to, but this time she was amazing. She just did everything that I asked her to do without fail. She was just amazing. So we managed, we got all the cattle in, and then my aunt came out from the local town to pick up my two younger brothers and me to go back into town, so leaving my mother and that brother there. And I can remember driving off thinking, I might never see them again, but we did. We were lucky. The fire stopped. We had a river was our boundary, and then there was paddock, a road, and they stopped the fire at the road. So that's how close we were. So, you know, I do really know what it's like, but we were fine. But I do, you know, I'm the first to pick up a whisper of smoke in the sky, the first to see it, and, you know, I always recognise it straight away. So I do feel for everyone who fights them, and I know in America you've had the most horrendous fires, and not just wildfires out in the countryside, but in cities, which I've got no understanding of how that could happen. So here we're fine, and the fires that have been around are sort of pretty well out, waiting for rain to come. I don't know when it's ever going to come, but a little bit's due next weekend, I think, so that'll be good. So there you go. That's my little contribution to bushfires or wildfires, and it's perhaps not a poem that you really enjoy, but it's certainly interesting.